Hey there, good day, friendship friends, how are you? Now this is Wednesday, but tomorrow, Thursday, is Friendship Community's Wear Your Favorite Sports Team's Outfits. I'm getting a head start on you all. That's right, because today I am wearing all things black and gold, because many of you know that I like Pittsburgh sports teams, black and gold colors, and all things Pittsburghese. Yes, and some of you like the Eagles, and some of you like the Washington teams, and the Baltimore teams, and the other Philly teams, and that's great. But I am wearing my Pittsburgh stuff today. In fact, I forgot to, here, we'll just put on a couple more hats for right now. So I remember the first sermon that I ever gave at a church. It was Youth Sunday at our church, and I had been assigned to preach the sermon. Now, I was in high school during that time. Yes, it was a long time ago, but it was a great year for Pittsburgh sports. The Steelers had won the Super Bowl, the Pirates had just won the World Series, and we were really hoping that the Penguins were going to be able to play better hockey that fall. But we were really celebrating because the Steelers and the Pirates had been so good in that year. So, guess what I talked about in my first sermon? Yep, that's right. Pittsburgh sports and the city of champions. And it was fair that most everybody else at the church where I was speaking at were also Pittsburgh fans because we live close to Pittsburgh. So although I talked about Pittsburgh sports and the city of champions a little bit, I spent more time talking about a city of champions even greater than Pittsburgh. That's right. Hebrews chapter 12 verse 1 says this: "We are surrounded by a huge crowd of witnesses. So let us throw off everything that stands in our way. Let us throw off any sin that holds on to us too tightly, and let us keep running the race marked out for us." So, who is this great crowd of witnesses this verse is talking about? Well, if you look back to Hebrews chapter 11, which maybe you want to read together today. It's a long chapter, but we call it the faith chapter. And it talks about Noah and Abraham and Isaac and Jacob and Moses and so many more people of faith who've lived long before us. We're to be inspired by the godly examples that these saints gave us during the time they lived. They're the ones who had great faith, and they encouraged others to live their lives for God. And they are referred to as this great cloud, this millions of believers who've gone on before us, each encouraging us to live a life of faith just as they did. Where are these believers at? Well, we believe they're in heaven, or as I call it, the city of champions. All of us have family and friends who are in heaven with God. And we do know that someday we also will be in heaven with God, our family and friends. And that gives us hope. And we look forward to that time. We don't know when it will be, but we want to be ready to be with God, our family and friends. And so we also want to be encouraged by this great crowd of witnesses who are cheering us on, saying, yes, keep looking to Jesus. You can cheer for your sports teams and get all excited about that, but more importantly, get excited about Jesus. He is the greatest, and the city of champions, being heaven, is going to be the greatest place to be. So today, as you cheer for your sports teams, or tomorrow, as you cheer for your sports teams and get decked out in your favorite sports gear, remember that there is a greater team than the one that we cheer for here on earth. It's the team in heaven, and it is headed up by Jesus, who is our Savior. So be blessed today in all that you do. Keep cheering and live for Jesus.